We're going to learn the coaching process based on the principles from How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. One of the biggest challenges we have as a leader is when one of our teammates makes a mistake, and it's up to us to go in and help them learn from it and learn how to improve, and do so in a way that doesn't destroy their confidence or make them resentful towards us. So first of all, remember that to preserve the relationship, we want to do this one-on-one and make sure the timing is right, that they're going to be open to it. All right, let's say that the problem we're facing is they made a mistake in a presentation and they blew it in the Q&A. So the 4 steps of the coaching process are to build rapport, reference the problem, restore their confidence, and reassure them. So let's start with step 1 is build rapport. We want to begin with praise and appreciation. So you'll say something like, hey, great job in your presentation. You had lots of energy, made really good eye contact, and nice work. You can almost watch them just visibly relax, get more comfortable, get more open to the coaching that they're going to have, and that trust gets established. Step 2 is to somehow reference what the problem is. The principle is call attention to the mistakes indirectly. Now, this doesn't mean that we sugarcoat it or we avoid the conversation, but how can we gently bring it out? Just even a question like, how do you think the presentation went? That helps us to know, is this a blind spot or are they well aware of the problem? Next, we're going to talk about our own mistakes instead of criticizing others. So you may say something like, oh, when I first gave a presentation at an all hands, I was so nervous. I put a lot of preparation into the slides and the content. I forgot about the question and answer period, and it was total crickets. It was so silent. I didn't know what to do. How do you think your Q&A went? Next, we're going to ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Once they know what the problem is and they're aware of it, we can brainstorm some solutions. So instead of just saying, you should do this, you may say something like, hey, something that I found, a tip that I learned is if you raise your hand and say, who has the first question, the audience starts asking questions. What tips do you think would help? Or you may say, hey, you've mentioned that John's really good at the Q&A. What do you like about what he does? Or you may say, hey, based on this last one, what would you do differently on the next one? By asking questions, they come up with the answers and they've got more ownership. People support a world they help create. So by asking those questions, they're involved in coming up with those solutions. Next, we want to restore their confidence. So we want to let the other person save face. We want to prevent them from feeling embarrassed or, just going over in their mind about the mistake that they made. So we want to say something like, hey, don't worry about it. This was only 10 people at the meeting. Or, you know what, this happens to everyone. It's not the end of the world. Don't worry. This is all part of the learning process. Or, hey, in the spirit of growth mindset, let's just come up with some ways and what we can do differently. That's no problem. Next, we want to give them appreciation and show them how far they've come. So you may say something like, last year your average score on presentations was 3, and this is a 4. So you're already making improvements. Or help them to realize what other areas that they can feel proud of so that they are more likely to want to sign up and give a presentation again next time. We also could give them a fine reputation to live up to. That has 3 parts to it. You give them a compliment, you give them a specific example of how they did it, and then show them how it can apply to the future. So you may say something like, you're really engaging. Remember how everyone was talking at their tables? Now just get that audience engagement during the question and answer, and your presentation is going to be amazing. Another way to do that is build their confidence. If they've never done presentations, is remind them. Say something like, you're such a strong finance manager and so thorough in your research. I know that if you applied that same diligence to your presentations, you're going to have that same level of success. The last step is to reassure them and get them excited to apply these new tips. So try making the fault seem easy to correct with phrases like, oh, this is just one small bit, the rest of it's amazing. We're just talking about this small tweak, and it's going to be amazing. Or you're almost there. I know that next presentation is going to be even better. This is no big deal. It's easy to fix. Or you might make them happy about doing the thing you suggest by reminding them what's in it for them about making the change. You could say something like, once you improve the presentation skills, you're going to have so much more visibility and it's going to help you get promoted and make the impact that you want. In short, this coaching process is going to help you as you build rapport, you reference the problem, you restore their confidence, and you reassure them to try the new skills. Their performance is going to improve, and you're going to be an even stronger leader.